The South African government is urging motorists to cancel their trips as severe weather conditions have brought heavy snowfall across parts of Gauteng, Free State, Mpumalanga, KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape. The South African Weather Service has issued a level 8 warning for further disruptive weather conditions as snowfall continues to blanket the N3 highway, particularly between Warden and Tugela Plaza in the KwaZulu-Natal area, leaving motorists stranded for hours. In a statement, the government says those who are trapped in the snowfall are advised to remain in their vehicles, signal for help and wait for the assistance of disaster management authorities and police who are already on the ground. For more on this, we speak to the Communications and Marketing General Manager of SANRAL, Vusi. Vusi, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Can you give us an update as to what the efforts of SANRAL across the N3 has been at this point?
Well, SANRAL, through its concessionaire, the N3TC that operates that route, has been clearing the snow. We've got graders that moved in this afternoon to clear certain parts of the N3, and there are routes that we've opened and are constantly updating our motorists and road users on what routes are being opened. But we are part of a wider government effort. You have alluded earlier to the police being part of this operation. I can tell you the Army is also part of this operation. The National Disaster Management Center is coordinating government efforts. And at 7:30 this evening, we'll all be going into a meeting to assess the state of affairs on the ground, get updates, and so that we're in a position to inform South Africans further.
Yeah. Do you have an idea of how much longer it will take for the clearing up of the roads taking place at the moment to continue into?
Well, look, this is a very difficult thing to estimate because the driving conditions are making it difficult to reach, especially the stranded motorists. So, you know, we are playing it as it comes. But we are very much conscious of the fact that it's got to be a quick exercise because there are people who have been trapped for well over 12 hours and the conditions are icy. So we are sensitive to a disaster unfolding right in front of our eyes, and there is definitely a sense of agency by government and SANRAL to move in as speedily as possible.
Can you give us a sense of what the rescue effort looks like practically on the ground? Are the vehicles being mobilized and therefore the cars are able to drive once the snow has been cleared up? Or are you removing motorists from the vehicles, taking them to safety and hoping to come back for the vehicles once the snow have cleared up?
It is both. There are vehicles that are moving, but there are motorists who would prefer to be taken to places of safety. We are talking to local municipalities in the vicinities. There are centers, halls, multi-purpose centers that are being mobilized so that we can take people to those safe places.
Yeah, and importantly here, do you have a sense of how many people have been rescued and how many vehicles have been rescued up until this point?
Those are stats that, as I said earlier, are going to come through at 7:30 when the National Disaster Management Center, together with the Army, meet all of us at 7:30. We will then be in a position to get a sense in terms of numbers, how many people we are talking about here.
And importantly, we've been told that due to weather conditions and visibility in the air, helicopters have not been able to be used. Do you have an indication yet from the aviation authorities if at any point they'll be able to use helicopters as well as aircrafts to be able to rescue some of the trapped people?
I'm aware that the Army has moved in with choppers, but as I've said earlier, the update meetings are going to happen later this evening. Only thereafter will we be in a position to update the media in terms of how the operation has gone so far.
Yeah, and has SANRAL been exercising rescue efforts exclusively on the N3 along with its concession partners, or has artillery and ancillary roads connecting to and from the N3 also been a part of the rescue efforts?
Primarily, it is on the N3, and because that is the road that falls under SANRAL, but we are aware this is, you know, it's impacting everybody. And where we are called upon and we've got capacity to spare, we are assisting the other spheres of government. But I must say that the provinces and the municipalities are themselves on top of the issue. They are intervening, and effectively so, assisted by other stakeholders, humanitarian groups, farmers along the route, and we really appreciate how everybody is coming to the rescue.
How many snow clearing vehicles does SANRAL have operating on the N3 at the moment?
I don't have the number with me, but there's a number of graders that have moved in. We understand, the magnitude of this, so we have mobilized as many resources as we possibly can.
Yeah. Vusi, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. The General Manager for Communications and Marketing at SANRAL.